Hey there, I'm Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano from Star Wars The Clone Wars and founder of her universe. It was just incredible to go to the Rep. That theater is my childhood. I honestly, from the time I was like 11 years old until I graduated high school, I spent hours and days and weeks at that theater. It was usually what I did on my Friday nights. I was a part of what they called the Civic Kids, and I did that for like 4 years. But I also did several shows. I was Helen Keller in The Miracle Worker, Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and I grew up there, and it means so much to me. It kind of shaped the person I am today, honestly. Actually, Jeff Revels, who is still the head of the Rep, I grew up with. And he was a major influence on me. He's just always so positive. And we've stayed in touch, and he came to my wedding. And it's, having that positive influence as a kid and being told at all costs, no, you can do this. Mm-hmm. And you can go off and you can be that. It's reaffirming dreams in kids. And so many people, I think one of the most damaging things you can do to a kid is when they tell you their dream is tell them no. Because then you automatically squash that dream. And growing up in such a positive environment over there at the theater, where I was surrounded by directors that were constantly telling me, yes, you can do that, you can achieve that. And so Jeff Revels was a very powerful influence in that. Trudy Bruner is just somebody that I hold a special place in my heart for. She directed me in The Miracle Worker. And Kathy Baker Wood is also an actress in Orlando, and we've stayed in touch, and she's just always been an inspiration to me. And I know I'm leaving a million people out, but
it's like your Oscar speech.
It would be an Oscar speech, but several people just hold a special place in my heart. It's a bit surreal, for sure. My history with Disney goes way back because my dad worked for Disney. And so I moved to Orlando when I was 2 years old. So this is my childhood. And for him to work for Disney. And I grew up kind of as a Disney kid. And when Hollywood Studios opened, I went the week it opened. And I remember walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and they had this thing on Hollywood Boulevard where you could make your own movie. And me and my siblings made our own movie. And I just thought that was incredible. It's like, how can you make your own movie right here in Orlando? Then fast forward, when I was 16, on my 16th birthday, I went and filled out the application to be a Disney cast member. That's how much I wanted to work for Disney. Yes, I did. And I got assigned to Hollywood Studios, and that was my park. And so I got to be a dancer, a cheerleader in the Hercules Parade, and we would do the parade down Hollywood Boulevard. And now today, it's just too surreal. I mean, honestly, to sit in the back of this car with your name on it and people know who you are, it's surreal. I'm honored for it, but I would say it comes from a childhood in Orlando where it made your dreams tangible. Mm-hmm. Like as a kid, I went to a live taping of the Mickey Mouse Club, so I could see, okay, those are real kids just like me doing that, and having the opportunity to see that in person made me believe that I could do it too. And I think growing up in Orlando, that provides families and kids that opportunity to see all of these theme parks and these amazing things happening, that it really makes you believe that your dreams can come true because you're seeing other people do it. The two things I think I love most are Disney and Star Wars. And so for now, the two of them to become one, and then even the possibility of a land expanding just blows my mind. It would be awesome. I think what I love about what, for example, Universal has been able to do and what Epcot has been able to do with the countries, where you walk in and you feel like you're in that world. And Harry Potter Land is just amazing. You feel like you're there. The countries, you feel like you're in that country. And to be able to walk into a Star Wars land and feel like you've walked into Star Wars would be incredible. So my fingers are crossed that that happens. It's done by George Lucas, but also Dave Filoni. And Dave Filoni who is the supervising director of the Clone Wars, worked very closely with George Lucas to create the Clone Wars. And you have to start from the beginning to meet my character Ahsoka Tano and to get the setup, and then just go along for the journey, because it gets better and better and better and better. And it's not really a show for television. I mean, honestly, they're like 22-minute mini movies. And it gives you so much backstory and insight into the whole overall arc. It ties in with the movies. And, I mean, they consider it canon, just like the movies. And so we've had so many people say that they appreciate the prequels more now because of all of the insight that they've gotten from our show. And I'll tell you, it's a show for all ages, but towards the end, it's not, really a show for kids. I mean, there's some darker stories, and it's very adult themes, but there's something for everyone. It's not that kids can't enjoy it, but it's for all ages. And I think that's the biggest misconception, is people wrote it off as a kid's show on Cartoon Network, and it's not. So it's pretty dramatic. And my character, she plays an integral part now in between episode 2 and episode 3 that will help you with those movies, but you have to watch the show to understand. I feel very attached to this character, of course, because I've had the opportunity to originate her with a team of people. I mean, I've worked very closely with Dave Filoni to create this character. So even though I've just been the voice of her, I feel like she's definitely a part of me, and I'd love to continue to play her. I hope we get to continue to see her in the Star Wars universe. I happen to be the same size and same height and everything as her, so that's kind of convenient, but it wasn't planned that way. The character was designed before I was cast. So for fun, I've had the chance to dress up as the character. I had a blast. I got to cosplay as her, which was just incredible. So I'd be honored to have the opportunity to play her again. Who knows if I will. I'm very grateful for the time I had, but I just plan to stay in the Star Wars universe, hopefully for years to come. I mean, I still design merchandise for female fans. I'm still involved in Disney Star Wars weekends and still doing tons of Star Wars events. So I promised fans, I said, trust me, this is not goodbye. You're not getting rid of me. It did. That's a great question, because honestly, it started out selfishly. It was because I'm a fan and I wanted more merchandise made for me. And I honestly thought it existed. I quickly realized that it didn't, and I did my research, found out that close to half of all sci-fi fans are women, and that's a hard statistic. So, and I also found out that close to 80% of all consumer purchases are made by women. So the math wasn't adding up. It's like, why aren't you giving women more stuff to buy? And I knew I wasn't alone. So I founded her universe, and I wanted to create a merchandise line, but also a community of female fans, because there's so many female fans that were scared to admit that they liked this genre, that they were bullied for it, that they were ashamed by it. And, sci-fi is for everyone. It transcends gender. I mean, Star Wars, to me, is a story of hope. It's a story of good overcoming evil, and that there's no gender to that. It's universal. It's for everyone. So I wanted to create a safe place where female fans could step into the spotlight and say, hey, I'm a girl, I'm here, and I like sci-fi. And so that's what we've been trying to do. Well, I love Doctor Who. I'm definitely a big fan. So that was a dream come true to get that license. I've also, oddly enough, gotten into The Walking Dead, so I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. But I'm actually a Disney fangirl. I love Disney, and Disney has a hardcore kind of cult following, just like Star Wars does. And my guilty pleasure in all of that is Alice in Wonderland. I have a huge Alice in Wonderland collection. Actually, right after this interview, I'm going and talking to somebody. I'm going to be designing a Alice in Wonderland room in my house. Yes, so I'm a little obsessed. I'm so excited to be here at the Orlando Science Center, where science meets imagination with Star Wars. And it's just so cool to see everything in person. I mean, there's stuff down there on the floor from all 6 movies, props, costumes, and it's always cool to see it in person, to see, wow, that's how big Chewbacca really is. That's how big Darth Vader really is. I got to see the Millennium Falcon down there, which was incredible. And so I just totally geeked out all morning, checking out the exhibit. And then tomorrow I'll be doing 3 question and answer sessions. I'll be doing meet and greets, signing autographs. And I'm just excited to meet the fans. I am so grateful for this opportunity to be in the Star Wars universe. From the moment the movie came out with my character in it, I was getting fan mail from all over the world, Germany, Japan, and I'm so thankful for that. And I love meeting everyone. Honestly, for me to say thank you. Thank you for your support, and thank you for embracing me and making me feel like a part of your community. And then also for the past 5 seasons of the Clone Wars. I want to say thank you to everyone for supporting the show and following our characters. And I hope Clone Wars fans come tomorrow, and I want to hear their thoughts and just say thank you for following us.